Okay, I have been getting too many questions about this. This is the GDS green dot sight that I am using. The Holosun EPS carry. Oh, and just so you know, all the guns here are clear, but just to show you at least the SIG first, we are clear. I know it's hard to see, but take my word for it, we're clear. All right, so for those who don't know, the Holosun EPS dots are made in two flavors. There's going to be the EPS and the EPS carry. The primary difference is that the EPS carry tends to be a little bit smaller width-wise, as well as it has a smaller viewing screen. Also, on the back of the regular EPS, it won't have the built-in rear sight right here. I assume it's because they thought that the slightly larger guns, it wouldn't remove the rear sight, so they didn't need it, whereas the small ones they thought it would. So if you want the larger window, and let's just say you're having problems presenting, definitely go with the EPS. Probably a little bit of a crutch. I still would recommend training to present on point, but it's there if you need it. If you lose your rear sight when you take off your optic plate, definitely go EPS carry. Slightly smaller window, but you will have that rear sight. Aside from that, they're pretty much both the same with the same pricing structure. So a few years back, when the close emitter optics were becoming very popular on handguns, I would hear all the time from my friends how great they were, and I could see the potential in how great they were. You know, I just couldn't get with them because, to be honest with you, it was a joke at the time, but they just seemed like a huge mailbox on the top of your slide, and they look ridiculous. You know, I'm primarily talking about the Aimpoint Acro, but it did look ridiculous. Now, the 509T was definitely smaller, but it had the issue with the mounting plates where you ended up having to stack multiple mounting plates, and it ended up being a mile high above your slide, so it still looked ridiculous. So that, also the Acro had horrible battery life. I know they fixed that in version 2, but the first one, it was pretty bad. And for me, just seeing all of this issues with the close emitter optics, it was just a hard pass. It was definitely a no from me. So I ended up getting my 508T, and you guys know how much I love my 508T. Enter the Holosun EPS lineup. Size-wise, we're looking at roughly a 407 to 507K footprint. Battery life, even on the regular dot sights, we're looking at 50,000 hours. And mounting-wise, at least on the carry version, they mount pretty much directly to your slide, at least the RMR slides. I heard that the regular EPS might not do that and you might need a plate. Somebody, if you know more about that in the comments, just go ahead and answer that below. But more or less all of the previous problems that I had, it pretty much counteracted, so it was good to go. Plus there's one huge benefit to it that I knew was a big deal, but I didn't know how much of a big deal it was, especially if you're somebody who plans on using it for carry. So, you know, I'll actually go ahead and show you. All right, so I'm carrying. Usually I wouldn't carry in a sweater, obviously, but I would just have on, you know, a regular shirt. But just like this, just like that, the optic is clean. So as always, all these firearms are unloaded, but just so you can see, before it would be a situation where you have to close the actual emitter window. So what you would do is, or what I would do is try to use my thumb or my pinky and clean the top part first. So I'm pushing upwards to clean the top. And then I would try to clean the inside of the glass with my pinky as well. And then I would try to clean the front, which is pretty easy. The results were never that great, but it wasn't bad. It was enough to use, right? But you see how much longer it takes. So that's the benefits of the enclosed emitter. It's so much faster, and I didn't give it the props that it deserves. By the way, if you guys want to see a size comparison between the 508T and the EPS, 508T doesn't look that big of a difference, but it is. You just gotta take my word for it. It's huge. Also, PPQ, clear. The 507C and the EPS, you can see no more mailbox. And lastly, you guys know that I primarily, you know what, not even primarily, I pretty much switched over, I did switch over all of my red dots to green dots because they work way better with my astigmatisms, and I have really bad astigmatisms in both eyes. And I know a lot of you say that, you know, green dots help you guys as well. This is the only green dot that I have used though where I see a perfect circle. To the point where I'm like, oh wow, that's what everybody else sees. So that it definitely gets brownie points, you know, for that. I don't know why, if it's just because of the closed emitter or the enclosed emitter, I should say, but I see a perfect green circle with this dot. So that's pretty big in my books. So as far as carry dots go, for me, it is king currently. Like already, until it like breaks or something, then I can report back to you guys. As of right now, it is king. I don't have a real con to say about the dot. I'm loving it. So both the EPS and EPS carry are going to come in 3 different versions. You're going to have the 2 MOA without the solar power, the 6 MOA without the solar power, and the MRS, the multi-reticle sight with the solar power. That's for the green and the red version. Note that the MRS version does cost about $85 more, but it has all the classic reticles from Holosun that we know and love. The dot with the circle, or just a circle. The reason why I got the 6 MOA green dot is because I was impatient. I'll probably end up, you know, getting the MRS version shortly. So there's that. Also, price-wise, keep note that the green versions usually cost about $30 more than the red versions. Anyway, that's it for the video, guys. If you liked it, go ahead and throw me a like, or a subscription, or both, or log on to multiple accounts and throw me likes and subscription. I'm just playing. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.